Would you like to see how I would have started? How I would have started this? Can you see Nina, Jane, and Penny? You can see us.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Now, before I do anything, it's just about looking at the shadows. Or, well, yeah, shadows would be one of the ways. Dark shadows here. The neck. And you got the folders. Shoulder. Folder here. Shoulder there. Background. Background. Going back. Nina, you can you? Then folds. I love the folds on these sculptings, which the big, obviously it's a 3D when you see it live, but you know that even when you see it on a picture, you know where the accents are, so they do help to create volume, to create the the gesture, the movement of the head, and volume as well at the same time. So these are the folds. Again, a little bit of shadow of the neck. Another shadow here, which is where the neck ends, and you have the V shape of the folder. Dark here, which is that dark here, which is that accent of shadow of the cast shadowed head onto the folder. Another folder line here, and the darkest line is this one here, which is that from that top, the fold here, and then moves down, and becomes, and the plinth, which is somewhere here, the plinth. And the shadow from the head and the cheek here. You've got the cheek, head, neck, hair, and the profile, which will be something like top of the forehead, move it down, and that will be right at the shadow. So that point from the top of the forehead, a vertical line will be almost at that point there. Well, at that point here. So top of the head here. So that's where I would start doing the forehead. And you got the head, and you got the nose here. Nose, head, and then the chin. You got the chin. Can you all see?
Yeah.
Is that in the front? Jane?
Fine.
No.
Better those.
Okay, and then the mouth and the chin itself here. Chin, the head, the shadow of the head. I think I've done a very, very long nose, but we'll trim it, put it up a bit more, and then you raise the mouth as well. And then the eye socket, something like this. And the shadow of the folds, the curls, dark curls here, and the background, which is very, very dark here. And the mouth, chin, there. And dark all around, which is the background, and here as well, darker tone here on the neck, very dark here, and don't forget the neck, because I think the way they've done it looks like he's missing neck. So is that area here, or that dark area here, and the fold here. The cheekbone. And the shadow there, which is, I would now connect those shadows, make them a little bit softer or cross-hatching to create almost like a transparent shadow. And the eye is sort of like that. It's not only a straight line, a horizontal line, it's more of like this. there. So an angular shape like this. I mean an angular shape of that sort. It's going upwards like that, and the forehead a bit further up. You got the nose a bit more onto there. Mouth, chin, and a softer tone in between the eye and the cheekbone, and the cheekbone here. Softer here on those areas. The mouth, as Jane said, the mouth will be, okay, let's do it somewhere here. The mouth will be something like a bit more of a bigger version of the mouth. Something like that, look. Darker, darker, darker. The chin here. And then you got the mouth, a very, very soft line. And with your fingers, look, doing this. Then you got the nose somewhere here, up. And the mouth, you got very, very dark shadow here. A darker tonal value under the upper lip. And the chin. So the mouth will be like this. Just a touch. You don't see, well, you don't see the lip between the two, you don't see the line in between two lips. You just see that shadow here. The top of the mouth, the lower part or the lower lip, and then shadow around here. And then the chin. Yeah. Upper lip, lower lip, and the chin. And obviously this area is a lot lighter, which is the chin. And the nose somewhere here. So the mouth will be of that approach. A very soft line. A very, very soft line. And there is not much information on the lip. Either upper or lower lip, just a shadow. And obviously, as I said, with a little bit of putty rubber, getting the chin, which is protruding out. And the fold here, the fold of the shoulder, fold here, there. And darker background here. Now the mouth here will have to go, because that's where the fold is. Darker on the neck. See that area, it's slightly darker than the folds. So that area on the chest is slightly darker than the folds. And the folds are, so I'm talking about, yeah, this area here. That's darker. And the folds are lighter. Which is basically, with a putty, you can come back and do those, look, transparent lines, which are, it's not marble, this one, it's kind of alabaster or something, that stone that is being carved on. So it's not too bright, it's not too white, it does have a color on its own. The stonework, I mean the sculpting itself does have some color on its own. It's kind of grey, it's not too bright. And the nose possibly a little bit more protruding out. Upper lip, chin, and the curls of the hair. Just a softer, darker line, or softer, darker shadow here. So a middle tone, not too dark, because again, it's where the head is, and they're not very dark accent on the head, although they are on the neck, but not on the neck, on the head. There. A softer line, and then coming back onto that middle tone that I just done. First of all, make sure where the ear area is, which is there, and you got curls, a bit less dark than that. Background is slightly darker than the hair, so give it the background a darker tone, and then later on we can soften it, because yeah, I don't want it that dark, that black either. So there, and a little bit more hair here. I think it's a bit squashed the head, so a bit more hair on this area here. And the curl area. Pretty much that's the side, well, the form or the shape of the head. Now you can come and do it obviously a little bit darker here and accentuate the accents that I can see here. Look, it's dark, see the neck, mouth, probably the nose has gone a little bit too, it's too pointy, so I need to trim that on this side, especially here. Look, first of all one here, and the next movement or fix of the shape will to fix the shape of the nose will be up here, but not much. You need to bring up the forehead like that. You know, the forehead a bit more protruding, a bit further up the forehead. I think it's quite low on me, so it needs to bring it up here to make him well, he's got a very long and, you know, tall forehead, or not tall, but, you know, high. That's the word. Yes, high. Thank you, Nina. And you got the curls here, curls, 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 curls. You see, even with your fingers, you can just do the. You can make it, or you can spread the darks quickly with your fingers, and then work it like that. Work it with here, with your finger. A combination of finger and obviously charcoal. Well, I'm working with charcoal. You can do it with pencil as well, depending on the paper you have. If it's the newsprint, it will be harder with pencil. Yeah, very hard. So yes, if it's newsprint, don't work it with charcoal. Don't work with pencil. But if you have a different paper, you can work with pencil as well. Yeah, the folds here, which I think you need to be a little bit more consistent and less of these small lines, a bigger there. Yeah, for the folds, and then working now, just a matter of working on the folds now, coming down here and making it a lot darker. Okay. And the bust itself here. And some more transparent lines there. Well, that's pretty much the profile. I know I've done him a little bit more like a, he looks a bit, it feels like it looks a little bit younger on me, I think. I might be wrong, but it looks a bit younger. An emphasis now, an emphasis to cheekbone, look. Here, emphasis on here, on those darks here. Cheekbone, mouth area. Keep the charcoal sideways and darken it like this. Goes faster like that. And obviously onto the eye socket. And coming now and working with the tip of the charcoal, not the sideways only. The tip of the charcoal to be a bit more precise to what we're doing now. I think the nose could go a little bit further inwards this way, there, not that side, inwards. This side, and then you have tip of the mouth and the chin, as we said here, and keeping the chin not too dark, because the darkest dark will be on the background, so the chin kind of a transparent. Just work it with your fingers, and just a matter of working out here, bringing back, emphasizing the lower part of the mouth, upper part of the mouth, and a bit darker in between, and darker the background here. There. Possibly what I need to do now is to I'm not doing it, but to spray it and then come back with more darks, because the darks are moving about. As long as I'm as quick as I'm putting the fingers, the darks are moving all around here. So I think I need to spray it. And the neck, working on this side, coming back with the curls. Less, more inwards there. Okay, well I think it's enough to start on. And then it's just a matter of tweaking, emphasizing the darks on the cheekbone here more, emphasizing the darks on the mouth, bringing up a little bit further up the chin, because I think it's too low, emphasizing that light in between the upper lip and the nose here, and making it slightly brighter here, and also keeping that line a little bit more like this, there, more of an angle, there, that line here, and lighter inside the eye cavity, lighter tonal value there. Okay, let's go and finish that off. Some highlights here on the folds to start with. Lighter, so it creates kind of a volume coming towards us. These back folds are a bit darker. And you have the main fold here, which is coming up there. Now I'm looking onto the shiny bit under the chin. There, talking about that little shine under the chin here. I think I've exaggerated it a little bit more. I can soften it and bring it back a little bit more, push it back with the darks. A bit more of a fuller chin here, more rounded. The neck, I think I've gone with a kind of a narrow neck here for that particular person, which looks like Byron, Lord Byron. I'm not 100% sure. Then you have the upper eyelid, darker here to mark the tear duct, then a darker line or a half tone coming through, and down here the upper lid, you have the chin again here, and a little bit more for the curls. Darker here for the curls, darker here also for the curls. Push the nose a bit further back here, so a bit more of that sort, so it creates more of a, pushes the nose forward, back on with the forehead there. Darker lines at the back, neck, bit wider neck. charcoal. Okay, here we are back with the charcoal. Some more darks here with the charcoal on the folds here. A bit less dark than that, and darker here actually. And a little bit of an indication of his neck here. A bit of a darker here under the lower lip. Darker tonal value. And also softer in between here. Softer, 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 softer. And darker here. The nostril. Middle tone here. Darker tone here. Darker tone here. Darker tone under the eye. Darker tone here as well. I think a little bit of a indication of where the lip separates between the upper lip and the lower lip, and there as well. That would be enough. And dark tone, which is all around here, and a bit of chamois or drapery cloth, soften all this. Just a piece of cloth, really, nothing special. Create the impression of light tonal value, which is part of the alabaster that the scouting is actually made of, or as far as I can tell, not sure if it's alabaster or marble. I don't think it's marble anyway, but it must be alabaster. A bit of a background tonal value there. Lighter down here. Get the other part of the cloth here with a bit more of a light to create some light values under here. And you got the ear, softer tonal value. Soft tonal value here, light there, light here. Creates a nice effect, the cloth. Possibly I could come and lighten that area a bit more, even more so the background here. And have the background lighter than the hair itself. Now a lighter tone in between. It's like a light tone which comes here, reflects itself there, and comes right down here under the head. And that line is right under his hair, right up here, so I can extend that line coming down here and move it onto the, so from the end of the hair, roughly, doesn't have to be a precise measurement, but it's that's what I think it is, roughly. Darker tone, that makes the neck, turns the neck like a cylinder, rounded, and a lighter tone here. Darker, a bit darker than what I've done, coming back and darkening it even more. and that shadow, which is the shadow of the head or the nose, that's the nose shadow, this one here, goes over the fold. So it's a bit darker, but not too dark. It's always about measuring how much darker that part is to the upper part, how much darker that triangular shape is to other parts. So this is a bit like, that's this flesh tone here. And you have the colored bone, which goes something like that. Then you have the light area, which is that part here. And that goes right down here, and that becomes part of the nose up here. And darker here, darker there. And you have the fold up here, fold, part of the fold, there. And then that background gets inside his chin. I mean, the dark of the background disappears the chin here, or becomes part of the background, sort of. And the highlight of the eye. Further up with the eyebrow. A dark tone in between the two eyebrows, and the back of the forehead moves back a bit more this way, that way, there. And softer, or bring the forehead a bit more. Not actually the forehead, but a bit more the lower lip. Further. Upper and lower lip here, bring it more to the left. Sorry, more to the right of the face. Is it moving? It's moving that way. Lighter. Cheekbone, lighter. Bring back some curls here. The ear, the earlobe. Somewhere here. Curls also coming right there. Forehead, rounded part of the forehead, cast shadow of light, moving the putty, just moving the putty like that, just making the putty loads of stretching here of the putty to create more of a grey part of the putty rubber. And some highlights underneath the chin. That could go a long way up here. Those highlights, which are highlights of the alabaster if you like, the material that we are dealing with here, or even marble. I don't think it's marble anyway, but again, the reflection of the material that the skull needs to be made. Yeah. Some darker accents up here to create the end of the curls or the end of the hair with some background noise here. Some background dark areas. Just softening it. I'm deliberately softening it just to make it a little bit, to merge the curls with the background. And then darker background here. Upper lip. That dark patch here. And then get that roundness of the chin. The chin's a bit too prominent on me here, or maybe not. No, it's not really. No, it's good. No, it's good. No, it's, I'll leave it where it is. I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to push it backwards. I think it's okay because he's got a prominent chin anyway. Some softer lines, these softer darks. There. There. Highlight here. Highlights here. All right. I leave it at that. I'll spray it and then add a little bit more darks on the top of that, and then we're done. Well, before I spray it, let's clear up some highlights on the folds here, which is this one here. Light here, light on the folds here, light on that fold, which is very close to the flesh tone here. Seem a bit softer, those darks here. Keep going like this on the top, sort of softer lines, so the eye goes straight to the portrait and not to the folds. And I can bring them back if I like this. Yeah? Bring back the folds in a different way. Softer, but not too much in your face. And again, the stretch the putty and create this grey putty there, which is important to create a lighter or a bit more of a sharper lines with the putty, like that. Putty rubber here. So a few lines here and there, and create kind of a straighter lines here, and then some highlights here, highlights up here, highlights on that, highlights here as well. Okay, I think it needs a spray now. Quick spray. Leave it for a few minutes. Dry up a little bit. And bring back the picture. Take it as a reference. I'll grind up a little bit of charcoal just to make sure that I have a sharp edge of charcoal. Don't want to spend too much time on this one because I want to keep it at a rough drawing. I want to keep it at a rough drawing here, a rough approach to a beautiful sculpting. So highlight a few things on the curls here. They are very interesting. So move along here, and the mouth needs to be a little bit more emphasized. Upper lip, lower lip with a shadow. Nose, darker, becomes part of the background, the nose. Here. The eye. Don't want to overemphasize it because you don't want to be seen it as a proper eye with the eyelid. Well, the eyelid, yes, but not with the iris and the color of the eye because it's not the color. It's a sculpting, obviously, so not too much emphasis on that. Leave it at that. Obviously, some curls. They need to be some curls to be emphasized here. And the shadow of the nose on the fold, which is this one here, which I've missed it. And some emphasis on the folds here, lines. Okay, there, the fold. Darks here. Dark background, but I'm actually overemphasizing that. There's no need to emphasize as much as that. There. So you see, with the spray it, and you'll have all these beautiful shadows coming through. But you need to spray. You need to spray, definitely. There's no escape from it. You need to spray and then add more darks there. Some more highlights here. Highlights here as well. Highlights here as well. Collarbone. Highlights on the collarbone. Highlights on the flesh tone here. Well, I mean, where the flesh tone should have been if it was a painting. And not forget it's a sculpting. I'm doing my own folds, so don't expect me to follow rigorously what I'm seeing here, because I won't. There. Alright, I'll see you on the next one then.